Your hair looks crazy.
I feel like it's a new fashion statement.
No.
Yeah, for my next photo shoot for Lavish.
Wow. That's a choice.
We'll whip this out.
That's a choice.
Walking around looking like fucking Wolverine.
That's a good one. I'm bleeding.
You scratch yourself?
What the hell? I guess so.
It's one of your mosquito bites. I see it.
I didn't even know I had a mosquito bite. Anyways,
welcome back to another episode of The Broke Boys. I'm Martin.
I'm Kat.
I feel like everyone's been suffering with this fucking heat.
I feel like we should do a recap.
Of what?
Just like where we've been.
The whole...
Yeah, well, you bought a car.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You bought a car. We've been out of town a few times.
Yeah.
This last week we were down bad. We had COVID. 4th of July wasn't that long ago. Like, I feel like we just need to recap, like, say everything out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, go back and address things.
Okay. So from... I know I kept manifesting the Tesla truck. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately...
Should that be a whole episode?
Well,
you buying the car and the process?
We can make it into this episode.
I thought this
But there was really no process other than looking.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Okay, go ahead.
So I had manifested since like
the beginning of this year, I'd say.
The beginning of this year, correct. And it was like, oh, I'm gonna get a new car. Mm-hmm. And I kept trying for the Tesla truck. Mm-hmm. And it just wasn't in our favor.
Thank goodness.
Why?
It looks like a spaceship. Okay. It's not even like
I could be the fat ass alien of Fresno. It doesn't matter.
No. Like it's cool or whatever, but it looks like a spaceship. Like it doesn't look like a car. And then did you see the video where people were smashing their fingers in the trunk?
Yeah, I saw some of the flaws that they were talking about.
How do you have a car that's that expensive and you're still going to cut your finger off?
Get your fingers out the way, bro.
I mean, I guess.
But no, I thought about it. I was like, oh shit, like there is a lot of like certain flaws that were messed up. I know that some people try to test the limit of it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, it didn't fit the full potential that they kept saying that it was.
Well, it's also the first like
model
attempt
of it, yeah. And I mean, it would have been so cool. But the more that I thought about it, the more I was like, well, fuck, like it is going to be a huge down payment for me to put down.
Yeah.
Let alone like figuring out financing it wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah.
What would have been a problem was the maintenance.
Insurance.
Not even the insurance. The maintenance.
Insurance would have been up the ass too.
Yeah. I can't even imagine, but yeah, it was just the maintenance, the thing that I was getting worried about. Just because I was like, well, fuck, like I have to take it to Tesla certification. There is no third party. There is only.
Well, and then at the time that you were looking into getting the Teslas, everyone on TikTok was slandering Teslas.
Yeah.
Like everyone, like that
Literally.
week that you were getting a Tesla, that you were like gonna go test drive some. Literally on TikTok and every social media, Tesla was getting slammed.
Yeah, and I was just like, fuck. And so again, before we get more sidetracked, it was so hard for me to be like, all right, you know what? We're not getting a Tesla. Like, it was so hard for me to rule it out just because I've been manifesting it.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting it. So then it was like the SUV version, the truck version, even the affordable car model.
Yeah.
The Model 3.
I think it was just the idea of electric car was fun for us.
I think that's what we were aiming for, is like, well, fuck it. Like, we have your car that's gas. And then if we're going to be in this adventure and on this high and saving a little bit more money together, why not get an electric car?
Yeah.
And hop on that brand now.
Yeah, because I think by 2035, everyone's going to have an electric car.
It's
like coming up or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a certain percentage electric.
Yeah, so that was my whole concern about it. Is that it just kept getting slandered, and then I kept thinking about the maintenance, and I kept thinking about like certain stuff, and I'm like, can I really do it? Can I really handle a fucking maintenance bill from a Tesla, like, or from any electric vehicle? So I had to rule it out, and I was just like, fuck. I was low-key kind of disappointed because that's something that I really, really wanted, but I was like, that's fine. Like, you know,
I'll start
just not right now. And then trucks, same thing. Trucks were just too expensive, and then they weren't. The thing is with trucks is they were too expensive for the high mileage that they had. Yeah. And the lower the year that they had. So like a 2014 truck, any type of truck, it was like already like 20 something thousand. And I was like,
And they were already older. And your goal in getting a truck was to get a newer one because you've always gotten like used cars. Not that you wanted a new one, but you wanted one that was like newer, like year-wise.
Yeah, year-wise, yeah. That was the hard search. Yeah. Is like, okay, thinking about it and looking and I narrowed it down to SUV, like an SUV or hatchback type of car.
Yeah.
I wanted something bigger, roomier.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be nice and comfortable. I've been used to obviously a lot of the older models, so I was like, you know what, like let's see
something with the bells and whistles.
Yeah. So what type of brand was I looking for? And I was between Dodge. I was between Nissan,
what
Kia.
What was the matchy? What was that one?
Ford Mustang.
Yeah.
I was between Nissans.
Really, you were open to anything.
And I was open to anything.
I think that was the problem, though.
Yeah. And I had too much options.
You had too many. Yeah, you had too many options.
Yeah, because I was even looking at like some of the like the nicer ones, like the Mercedes and the BMWs, and seeing all those, and like those looked incredible, and I was like, oh, and it's in my price range too. So it was a hard choice.
Yeah.
And then I didn't want to get something that was like a sports car, because at first I was like, no, I'm not looking for something to grab the attention or to get in trouble with the cops just because of how in Fresno it's very much.
That's what happens when you have sports cars.
Yeah, there's a lot of around here.
Give it up. There are a lot of like race cars, and they do sideshows.
Yeah, so then you got like the Chargers, the Challengers, the Mustangs. Yeah. You got literally just all kinds of fucking cars that are just sports
that people
cars.
Usually get in trouble with.
Yeah, and they did just have a bad reputation. So then I know, like, if I would have got a sports car, I probably would have joined DJ's crew and started doing donuts also. You know?
And we don't need tickets around here. So.
Exactly.
So for the greater good, honestly.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I'll have to ask DJ for another Lexus and I'll buy his
As of right now, though, we're staying on the good side of the
law. But yeah, and the other thing too is I didn't want to get a sports car. No, like, again, we live in Fresno, so knowing in Fresno, I make fun of people that drive fake ass fucking Hellcats and just scat packs, and so I make fun of them, even with people with the eco boost.
I'm not being a hypocrite.
I was just like, and I'm not one of those people that are going to be hypocrites. I'm not that type of person.
Hey, good on you, honestly.
Yeah. So,
well, before you say what car you did get, let's roll the intro, and then we'll hear what you got.
We them broke boys from the hood. We on them missions, understood. Won't catch us lacking, we that good. We always winning like we should. We flying high, we butterfly up to the sky. No way you catching us, goodbye. Pray to God we make it out alive. I'll never leave my dogs behind. We stick together like we signed. We shooting stars, one of a kind. We undefeated, just resign. Money more lower than a bitch nowadays.
Okay, now we're back. So you didn't want to get a sports car. You wanted to get a bigger car than what I had. But we could not afford a truck.
So before I announced the car that I got, I narrowed it down to 3 cars exactly. So it was a Jeep Cherokee and a Kia K5, and it's a sedan. It's a nice looking sedan, and then a Dodge SRT, and that was the sports car. So I narrowed it down to those 3. So the SUV, sedan, and then the sports car. Obviously, the sports car, we ruled it out completely.
Yeah.
The Kia, I really was invested into this Kia because I really loved the way that it looked. It was good. It was 2023, new. So it had everything.
Yeah.
The only reason why it didn't work out is just because I had to pay for the shipping for them to bring it over here, and then to do other financing stuff for it.
Yeah.
So in reality, it was going to be a little bit more out of pocket. So I think I think at the moment, because this was a while back. Sorry that I'm confused and I don't remember, but I think at the moment I was willing to pay for the shipping.
Yeah.
But then I think I was like, you know what, like, why not save that money and then go to the facility and I look at the Jeep or get the Jeep, right?
Well, was that the one? I think the mileage is what we had an issue with. Was that the one we had because it was an electronic one? Electronic. It was an electric one.
No, you're thinking about the Ford Mach.
I really like that one.
I really like the.
I really think that we would have gotten that one, but the mileage for electric was like 200.
Yeah, it wasn't enough.
I was like, it would not get us from here to LA. Like, there's no way we can
stop frequently.
Yeah, there's no way. Like, if it had a higher mileage, I really think that would have been.
That was the
ours.
Ford Mustang Mach-E. And that's the fully electric SUV Mustang.
Yeah, it was nice, and it looked roomy, and it was like.
And all the only things I was able to find were all the basic models, and the basic model only had for the battery capacity was 200 miles.
Yeah, and that was an issue for us.
And that's a huge issue because there's Tesla's up at to 380.
Yeah.
And that's basic model.
And we have to. My thing is, we have to at least get to LA. Like, we go to LA frequently enough to where, like, it has to get us there on a charge.
Yeah.
If we want to leave at 2 a.m, we can leave at 2 a.m, and we're not going to have to pull over
to
gas up or to plug it in.
Exactly. So, I really love that car, and we had to rule it out just because it didn't have that much mileage for the recharge.
Yeah. So what did you end up getting?
So I ended up getting the Jeep Cherokee. Mm-hmm. And I love the Jeep. It's red, incredible interior. I really love it.
Black leather,
really nice. And when I got it, I was so surprised just because I was like, I in the moment I was just like, no, there's no way I'm not gonna get it approved or anything like that. Like, yeah, I was in my head. I was like, nah, it's not gonna happen. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's my whole thing that I was going for. Is that
you didn't want to get your hopes up.
I never want to get my hopes up. If it happens, it's gonna work out naturally and it's gonna come to me. And that's what exactly it fucking did.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. And I don't think you said, but you went through Carvana, which we've never experienced before. I bought my car through CarMax. Carvana, we have like family friends, and I have like a cousin who did it, and everyone had like really good things to say about it. But because it's all online, I think we were really scared.
Yeah.
And like the pictures and everything that they give you online is pretty accurate, at least in our experience of like what we saw is what we got.
Yeah.
And then there was a section on like the Carvana app when you're looking at a car where it says like the like what's wrong with it. So it'll show you every little scratch. It'll show you every little dent. It'll show you everything and like the pictures of it.
Yeah.
So like I felt like that was cool to see because we didn't have to.
And if there was any reported accidents, the Carfax is all included. So.
And it was all online, so it was like. It was easier for us to go through these cars without necessarily having to go to a dealership and like see it all, you know?
Yeah. And it was like, you're not getting fucked over, like talking to the dealer and dealers trying to, you know, hassle you for other extra packages or unnecessary shit.
Yeah. Like everything you got to like pick the car and build like how you wanted to finance it and everything.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. And when I had the option to pay, to bring it straight to the house or go and just pick it up.
Yeah, so for us, the closest Carvana dealership was in San Jose. And for us, it's about a 3-hour drive, more or less.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, like 3 hours. And they wanted $600 to ship it to the house. So Martin asked if I wanted to go with him to San Jose or if he should just ship it. And I was like, how much is it? And he was like, $600. I was like, nah, we'll drive. So that's what happened.
Yeah, so we literally were, I remember the day. I remember Friday. I remember I was like, fuck, I'm such in a rush to get off work.
Yeah.
Everything just like wasn't going our way. Remember, I kept calling you. I was just like, dude, like, I need to get home at this amount of time and all this other stuff. So then I'm rushing at work trying to get through the day. And every store and every one of my stores
screwed you over.
Kept screwing me over. And it was like, fuck, like what the fuck is going on? So then I was with my helper and I was literally like, come on, man, let's try to rush through the day. I was like, I'm gonna leave you here. I'm gonna go do another stop.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna come back and we'll finish this one. And I was such in a rush, and I think I got off like around 3. Got back to the warehouse.
So the pickup time for the car was 6:15 or 6:30. I think it was.
I think we were gonna leave early, like time it.
Yeah, so I think
early.
So I think it was 6:15 was the car, and we said that we had to get there at 6, so we had to leave at least by 3:00.
Yeah.
So all day, I mean, I'm on summer break, so I was home. I was cleaning the house. I was doing whatever. And I was like, oh, I'll make us lunch because I know that Martin's going to get off late. So I'll make us lunch and then we can eat lunch before we leave.
Yeah.
I should have packed it because by the time you got home, you showered and we left.
Yeah, literally.
Like you were home for like 20 minutes and then we left, but I had already had food made, like served on plates. So we had to sit here and eat. So then I felt hella bad because we had to sit here and eat. But I was like, dude, we don't have time to stop.
Yeah.
Like, let's just eat and we'll drive. And we made it with time to spare.
Yeah,
Thank
it was
God.
like 5 minutes left.
It was like 5 minutes. But we made it with time to spare. But we got there and then the whole process there was like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Quick.
And then I was trying to take pictures, like being the proud girlfriend. I was like, I need to take pictures of him signing the paper, and I need to get pictures because of the first car he bought. He's bought all by himself. All the other ones, your parents have bought you, or you've gone half with your parents, or like things like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want like when I bought my car, like my mom took pictures, and it was in my name, and everything was in my name. So I was like, I need to take pictures.
Yeah.
But then you're at the Carvana, and it's like you and the one dealer, like the guy that works there.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of weird. So I'm trying to take pictures in like 0.6 to like look like I'm taking pictures, but I'm not taking pictures.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool to see you get in the car. And then we literally, from the time we were in the dealership to the time we were driving off was like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Literally.
And I couldn't believe it. Like once he was like, everything's all good. Maintenance is already done. Like there's nothing wrong with it. You could drive it around. Yeah. It's all yours.
They were like, you're good.
And like you already have insurance on it and everything. I was like, fuck, I didn't know like what else to do. Like at that moment, like
you're just shocked.
Literally. And speechless just because I just couldn't believe it. Like the amount of hard work and the amount of time that I've suffered and gone through so much. Like I finally felt like, fuck, I rewarded myself with this. And I put my all into this.
Yeah. It's like nice to see the fruit, like the fruit of your labor.
Yeah. And like it's just surreal. And I remember we started driving and we were both hangry. Not gonna lie, we were both hangry. Because you were getting upset because you wanted to go. Where'd you want to go? IKEA. You wanted to go to IKEA.
This is a whole other side story. But since we're getting into this, I was like, okay, I was home all day, and I was like, there are things that I have in my IKEA cart online. Like I've been wanting to do a gallery wall at the house. I've been wanting to get like new towels or whatever, like stupid little things, but they have them at IKEA.
Yeah.
So all day I was like looking at IKEA and I was like building my cart in IKEA. So when we get there, it'll be fast. And I had mentioned this idea to Martin beforehand, and he was like, yeah, that's cool or whatever. Well, he's nervous. Now he's all nervous because his damn car. So we go to get his car and we're in San Jose. And I was like, so are we going to go to IKEA? And he was like, well, I mean, if you want. Sir, we just drove 3 hours to pick your car up. You don't want to go to IKEA with me? And he wasn't saying that he didn't want to go. But just the way that he was saying it was like, or we can just like go home.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I just drove with you 3 hours. You don't want to go to IKEA with me?
Yeah.
So then I was irritated because I was like, I'm not going to beg you to go to IKEA with me if you don't want to go to IKEA with me.
But we were both hangry because we were like, well, let's stop and get something to eat. Then let's go to IKEA. But then it just wasn't working out because then after that you were like, no, let's just go.
Yeah, and then my thing is like, once he says no, I'm not going to beg you to go with me. So then like, okay, we won't go. So then he was like, why are you in a mood? Sir, because you didn't want to go to IKEA with me. That's
and
why
I was like, okay, let's go. Like, let's go.
See, and then by that time I was like, no, because you don't want to go because you want to go. You want to go because you feel bad.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And I was like, what extra shit over here.
Anyways. So then where do we go?
We drive back to Gilroy.
Yeah.
And Gilroy was like, what, 30 minutes away?
Yeah, I think it was like half an hour.
Yeah. So we were like, fuck it, let's just go to Gilroy. Gilroy will stop by and we'll sit down somewhere and eat. You wanted to grab just something quick.
Yeah.
I was just like, no, like we're out and about. Fuck it, let's just go sit down, let's eat.
Where did we go?
We went to Black Bear.
Oh, yeah.
In Gilroy.
Black Bear Diner. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was cool. And then we left, and when we left, it was like it felt like we were in the bay still. Like it was windy and it felt good. And then we were driving home and it was like 100 degrees.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think like it's so crazy. Like I know we're 25 years old, and like I know that's like we're in our mid 20s, but like you're buying cars. Like I bought my car when I was like however old or whatever. But then we have to like find our own insurance, and we have to like do these grown adult things.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy that like now we're in charge of like we have to pay we have to pay our car.
Yeah.
Or like I recently had to get my own car insurance. So like I have to like, and I've been paying it. I've been sending the money to my dad. Mm-hmm. But I think now because it's in my name, like I'm like, oh shit, like I need to like, I don't know. It's just weird.
It's like a random, like not reality check, but it's almost like a
But that's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
Is like, okay, you're grown.
Like this is
like it's yours now.
Mm-hmm. It's your responsibility, and you almost take care of it more, and you're almost more.
You like care a little bit more because now it's under your name. Like before, I couldn't tell you my policy. I couldn't tell you nothing. I knew that my dad paid it. I paid my dad a certain amount of money, and I knew I was covered.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like I had to build my policy, and I had to build I know what it is now that I'm paying into.
Yeah.
So now it's like, I don't know. It just feels more like you're more of an adult. Mm-hmm. And I know that you felt the same way because we both were going on the journey of finding your insurance. And then we talked to my parents, and then we had to talk to your parents. We were trying to figure out like what's the best policy, who do we go with, who do we talk to?
Because car insurance is not cheap. Let's be honest, like especially for our age.
Yeah. Well, you should post on the Broke Boys page at least a picture of your car.
I've made reels about the car.
With it?
Yeah.
I was like, let's
have you not
collage.
checked the Broke Boys page? Excuse me.
Whoa.
The Broke Boys page is on the come up right now.
Whoa.
I just went from 100 and something followers to now I'm at 400.
Dang.
So the Broke Boys are.
I should make a nerdy little collage of you signing your papers and putting it on the Broke Boys.
Dirty little collage? Is that what you just
said? A silly little collage.
Oh.
Did I say dirty little collage?
I don't know. That's what I heard.
In my head, I said silly little collage.
I was just like, I
don't know what you're hearing over there. Anyways.
But yeah, I mean, I think these are incredible accomplishments to be proud of. Mm-hmm. I definitely, you know what, I'm not gonna lie, not gonna bullshit. I shed a couple tears just because it was all my hard work and so much as I've gone through so much, and this is one of the things that I felt like I needed. I needed a win.
Yeah, and
that was one of the ones that felt like this is my life going on the right track. Mm-hmm. And you feel so happy, so proud, and
like accomplished.
And I played the song, the Peso Pluma song, Nueva Vida, and I was just like, fuck, like it just felt so good. And in the song, it gets to the part where it's just like, my parents have always given me a better life, and they have always tried to give me a better life. And that part hits just because like we didn't have everything, but at least we had food, water. Needed. We always had something, and to make it to that extreme is just like, okay, like I'm gonna do everything I can for that, and that's my sole purpose of like why I wake up in the morning. That is my why, and you all are my why. When I wake up every morning, I tell myself why I get up in the morning, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it's just so that way I can give everyone a better chance. Boost. So it's an incredible accomplishment, and be proud of the little milestones. And I manifested it. That's all I got to say.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
And it is a nice car. Yeah. And I can't wait to put miles on it.
I know we've been driving it everywhere now.
I know we're trying to close, but every time we get a new car, that car becomes like the it car. So because my car has been the new car for a while, we've been taking it everywhere. Yeah. So now I say my car's in retirement because she is, and I only use her when I have to now, not because we need to. So now your car's the it car.
Yeah. I love this. I love that we're doing so much accomplishments.
Yeah. And we're growing up, it feels like.
Right?
I'm like, is this scary?
So no, I'm glad that this is where we're at right now. And we're growing up. We're growing up from here. So yeah, so thank you guys for staying tuned to another episode. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys being on here. And stay tuned for social media and on Instagram and on TikTok at BrokeBoys_FF. And that's Broke Boys with a Z.
Broke Boys with a Z.
I appreciate the followers that I'm gaining now, and I appreciate the listeners. And thank you guys for listening to us and choosing to listen to us.
That's a mean word.
And listening to my dumbass. So thank you. And I would have never imagined that I would be here. And I'm glad that we're here right now. So thank you guys, and have a good week. Love you guys. Peace.
Bye.